Hey, Anton. Long time no see. How's it going? How you been? I'm good. We were going to do cardio today, and it took me an hour to get home this evening. So I decided not to leave the house. I decided to go work instead. Game night tonight with the fam. We worked some overtime yesterday. We're busy at work right now, processing 22,000 performance awards for our staff. So we had to work. I worked some comp time yesterday. I actually got to work from home yesterday. I woke up with a migraine, and my boss was like, well, we need you to work, so just pull your laptop out and log in from home. I don't remember what day I took off. Tuesday, I think I was off Tuesday. I'm gonna try to get some cardio done this weekend. So we're gonna do an upper body pump today. At least that's what ChatGPT called it. So we're gonna hit biceps again. We just hit them yesterday. Finally got an office at work. After 10 months of working from a cubicle, my boss got me hooked up with an office. So we moved in to the office today. Got my keys. Good. You'll get stronger if you keep consistency, right? So take your rest days when you need it. And just be consistent, develop a routine, and the strength will come. And you can still somewhat build strength when you're dieting. I'm going pretty strict with my diet between now and January. I'm not eating any carbs. We're going like almost ketovore. I'm eating a lot of animal protein. I basically take some sort of red meat or chicken and veggies. And I'm trying to shed the last little bit of weight into the new year. And then we'll decide where to go from there. We do Chinese food on New Year's. It's a little bit of a family tradition. We order Chinese food and then watch the fireworks here in the backyard because the whole community lights off fireworks, and usually the temperature's cool enough to light a fire in the fire pit. And my parents are coming to visit. So we're gonna probably take that week off from streaming the first week of January from New Year's till about January 7th. Probably still gonna work out. I'd like to work out with my dad. He needs to get back into a routine. So if I could start him while he's visiting, that'd be kind of cool. So. But we're building, I'm a big New Year's resolution and goals person. I'm getting ready to post my 2026 goals here in Discord. I started a channel in Discord for people to put their 2026 goals. So I have mine broken out by category. I broke them down this year into categories. And then we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. All right. We're gonna blast through this arm workout. I gotta, my usual routine, work out, walk the dog, meal prep a little bit for tomorrow, and then log in kind of early for my game tonight so we can finish by 10, so I'm not up too late. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nice. Is that a good weight for you? I think I'm sitting at, I haven't stood on the scale in a few days because I know my weight has fluctuated and I went up a couple pounds, but my lowest a couple days ago was 133, and we're trying to get below that. So, well, how do you feel at that weight? Are you looking to increase? If so, that would be, a caloric surplus. If you're looking to go up in weight, how tall are you? I'm 5'1", so anything over 135 right now, I feel super fluffy. Okay, 183 at 6'2" is a good weight, I'd say, for a guy. That's not bad. I'm more comfortable in the 120s, personally, and I haven't been 125 here in a couple years. In fact, in 2025, we gained and lost the same 10 pounds, which is kind of disappointing for me. I was hoping to have made a little bit more progress instead of finding 10 pounds and then losing it, but it is what it is. We slacked off most of 2025. Like to get down to like 15-20% body fat before I start adding calories and looking to increase my weight. That's good though. I mean, when I don't gain or lose, when I maintain, I see that as a win too for me. And I've been maintaining. Well, I've been losing a pound a week since September. But then Thanksgiving hit. I ate all the carbs during Thanksgiving, which I don't usually do. So that added water weight. So now we're trying to get rid of it all. Yeah, so that'll come. You gotta, with our condition, progress is a lot slower. And that's something that I've had to tell myself since diagnosis in 2020, that I'm not gonna hit PRs every workout. I'm also 43 now, so I'm not gonna lose weight at the same pace that I was losing weight. So for me, I had to accept slow progress, and that's been a bit of a mental struggle to accept slow progress. But I think I'm in the acceptance stage now, where I'm okay with it. You know, my app, the Heavy app, if you want to track your workouts, even body weight, it has body weight workouts. Download the Heavy app. It's Hevy. They have a free version on the Apple Store, or I paid for the lifetime membership because I use it so much, and I preloaded like 6 or 7 plans, workout plans, into the app. I got diagnosed in May, right in the middle of COVID. I got that phone call, like the second week of May, and they gave me my diagnosis. So I know it's been 5 years, but I still feel kind of new to being diagnosed, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, the only reason I remember is because they sent me a letter. The VA sent me a letter with my diagnosis. I remember it was May. That's the only reason I remember. It was June of 2013 when I had my first dissection. There's got to be a Facebook group for your version of the disorder that we could find for you. That's where I learned everything about VEDS, is from the Facebook group, because like doctors don't even know about our condition, right? You talk to a lot of doctors about these conditions, and they don't know a whole lot. I do have a geneticist that knows a little bit about the disorder. I Googled, when I was first diagnosed, I Googled all the peer-reviewed studies that I could find, read them all. I'll help you find one. I'll get on Facebook and I'll ask the folks in my Facebook group for VEDS if they know of any support groups for Lois Dietz. And hey, iCut, thanks for coming in. Look away. Appreciate it. Hope you feel better soon. Definitely take a rest day. Don't push it over there. Yeah, Anton, I can try to help you find. I know it's got to be out there. If we have one for vascular Ehlers-Danlos, there's got to be one for Lois Dietz, I'm sure. I think we're going to stick at 15 for these next 2 sets. Yeah, don't work out with a fever. Definitely take it easy. No, I'm sure there's not many people in Sweden with your disorder. For VEDS, there's only like 1,500 diagnosed in the United States. And we do have international folks in our Facebook group. So I'm sure there's got to be one for you. I'll find it and I'll post it in Discord if I can find it. Yeah, there's only 1,500, so 3,000 people diagnosed. That doesn't include anybody that's walking around with the disorder that doesn't know they have it, because that's a big thing. A lot of people don't know they have it until, like, you getting diagnosed at a young age is actually a big deal. A lot of people with VEDS don't get diagnosed till they're in their 30s when they actually have an event. I was 31 when I had my first event. So I went my whole life, played sports as a kid, did martial arts, played contact sports, never had an event, thank God. It wasn't until I was in the military that I had my first event. So, but we'll find it. I'm sure somebody in my Facebook group knows, especially the girl who does the podcast. I'm sure she's aware. She's got to know of some support groups out there that I can hook you up with. Look out, buddy. Excuse me. Excuse me. A lot of sets of 3. Surprised that these are only sets of 3. Let me break down my barbell. I gotta do preacher curls here. I don't think I can do 35s for preacher curls. It's been a hot minute since I've done the preacher curls. Yeah, that's usually how it happens. There's a lot of comorbidities with our disorders. Luckily, I don't have too many, but like a lot of people with VEDS have POTS. They have the hypermobility aspect to their joints. They have gastroparesis, we have folks on feeding tubes, or they have like chronic bowel blockages. I don't know, there's a lot of comorbidities with these. It's because it's a connective tissue disorder. So you got a lot of components of your body that have connective tissue. So, like, I tore my ACL walking in 2022. We went to Universal Studios here in Florida, went to a theme park. We did Halloween Horror Nights, which is their Halloween event. A lot of walking, like 20, 30,000 steps. So we did that the night before, and then we went to the parks the next day. And halfway through our park day, I had this searing pain in my knee, and I couldn't walk. I couldn't bend it. I tried limping on it. Nothing alleviated the pain. So we went back to the hotel. We finished we rested. I iced my knee, and a couple weeks later, I got an MRI. We thought it was a meniscus tear, and it turned out that I partially tore my ACL. And it was literally from walking. So I went into the Facebook group and I was like, "Is this normal for those of us with the condition?" And they're like, "Well, yeah, your ligaments have connective tissue as part of their makeup. So it's very common to tear those ligaments just by doing stupid shit." Like, I wish I had a better story as to how I tore my ACL, but it was literally walking. So now I have an under-the-desk treadmill at work to get my steps in and walk more consistently. So when I do go to the parks and see an uptick in my steps at 20, 30,000 for the day versus the 15,000 that I get, it's not going to put so much strain on my ligaments and hopefully keep me from tearing my ACL again, because that was dumb. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, it was a crazy time. It was not cool. I did 6 weeks of physical therapy. Got the knee back in business. It still bothers me. I don't think it ever healed completely. When I cross my legs sitting on the couch, if my knee is twisted in a certain manner, the pain shoots through where my ACL is. So I think it's just scar tissue. I don't think it ever fully healed, but at least I didn't need surgery because it was just a partial tear. It wasn't a complete tear. So that was the good news, because I was not prepped to have that major of a surgery. I was not looking forward to potentially doing that. So, my mic needs to be charged. Yeah, that's part of the connective tissue. Healing is a problem with these conditions. I have a lesser mutation for vascular Ehlers-Danlos, so I don't have like severe complications like some of these people, like all those extra conditions that I told you about. And my scars tend to, they tend to heal pretty good. But that's a common issue too. You end up with like paper thin skin, and sometimes they have to do stitches a specific way if you get stitches. I have a lot of skin biopsies that get done because melanoma runs in the family, and I have a lot of precancerous moles from too much sun exposure over the years. So they have to use really strong stitches when they take a bigger biopsy on me, just to make sure it holds. But people with our condition some doctors have said it's like trying to sew together tissue paper, if you can imagine that. If you couldn't imagine trying to put a needle and some string through tissue paper, that's essentially what it's like when doctors try to treat people with our condition, depending on your mutation. So that kind of makes sense. Yeah. That's why when if you ever have any kind of procedure, even if it's just like a non-arterial type of procedure, you always want to let your doctor know that you have that condition, because there might be different approaches that they have to take with stitches or the surgery, or just having like a completely different team. Like I have to have a vascular team on standby if I have certain procedures done, just in case something goes south. So it's always good to get those particular teams of doctors, cardiologists, vascular surgeons, stuff like that. Yeah, it's depending on your mutation. You could have a lesser form of the mutation, which works in your favor. That's why I can still weight train. I'll be able to go up in these next time. I'll probably do 20 pounds next time. Alright. I'm going to do preacher curls on the bench because we don't have a good preacher curl setup. So we use the bench. And I will actually be right back. I drank a lot of caffeine today, and I gotta run to the bathroom. So let me go do that. Hang tight, guys. Don't go anywhere. I will be right back. Okay, we're back. We are back. Gotta get some water. We'll do some preacher curls. Everybody's still with us. All right, how many of these are we doing? 12. Been a while since we've done preacher curls. Easier than I thought it would be. 25 for 12. We went a little heavier last time, but we're going to see how 25 gets us. Agreed. I'm glad I'm done with surgeries, procedures. I haven't had an event since 2018 was my last dissection. So we went into the ICU in 2018, had a stent put in the right carotid, spent the night in the ICU, and then that's when I stopped being crazy with lifting. I was benching 150 at the time, and that was probably stupid. And it led to a dissection, so I learned my lesson. Yeah, so we kind of have to manage and be careful that we don't go in for surgery. Grateful I have a desk job, so it's not too strenuous. And then I take it easy out here. My husband's always telling me to be careful lifting weights. I know my limits. I know when I can push it, when I can't push it. So we're just gonna take it slow. We're just gonna go slow. That's good. That's good. I'm all about longevity these days. I just had lab work done with the peptide company I work with. Everything pretty much came back good. What do they do? What did that procedure entail? Here, let me get the next set done. I'm gonna go quick today. Oh, damn. That sounds crazy. Well, shit. That's a crazy procedure. I am grateful I don't have to worry about any of that. That sounds like a pretty major surgery. Well, that's good to hear. That's good that it went well then. That's really all we can ask for with these kinds of conditions and medical procedures. Alright, we're gonna keep this weight because we gotta do 21s here next. And we're gonna be pretty fatigued out. Yeah, my doctor who did my stents was in Miami, and it's 60 miles from where I live, but it's like an hour. It's like 2 hours. Let's wait for the ads. Oh, a 7-hour drive? Oh shit. No thank you. No thank you. Damn, that's crazy. Alright, we got concentration curls next. My dog is enjoying this weather. It's gotta be in the 60s here today. Oh, 2 sets of 10 is going to be tough on that one. Yeah, I don't envy the 32 degrees. We live pretty far south. So this is the coldest it's going to get for now, is in the 60s. It doesn't dip much below that down here. I'm hoping around New Year's it gets a little cooler so I can light a fire in the fire pit. It's weird. I live in South Florida and I have a fire pit, not a pool. I don't know whose idea that was with this house, but my mom said it was -6 on Monday, where she is up north. So I don't know. And then it was in the 40s. Yeah, my dog is hanging out in the dark over in the backyard. He's not a fan of the humidity down here. So in the summertime, he spends all day indoors in the AC. And then in the winter, for us, when it's in the 60s, he spends his whole day outside. So at least he gets a reprieve from the heat for a couple months. We have 3 dogs. The one that's out here with me while I'm training is an Akita. It's a Japanese royal breed. And I have a German Shepherd who's in the house right now recovering from surgery. And my oldest, who turns 13 this Friday, tomorrow. He turns 13 tomorrow. He's an Australian Shepherd. We had 5. We had 5 dogs. My female shepherd passed in November from cancer. Actually, they both passed from cancer. My female shepherd passed unexpectedly from cancer. She had a tumor on her spleen that ruptured, and we didn't know about it until it was too late. And she passed in November. And then my border collie ended up with a very large tumor on his side, and he was 12 at the time. So I felt he was too old to undergo a major surgery. So we helped him pass here at the house. Yeah, my oldest he'll be 13 here. And he's trucking along. He's relatively healthy. Relatively. He's got some old man issues, but nothing crazy. He's a mutt. We get pretty much three purebreds. My Australian Shepherd came from a breeder. My German Shepherd I found on Craigslist, but I'm pretty sure he's 100% German Shepherd because he sure as hell looks it. And the Akita is a mix of the American Akita and the Japanese Akita. So the American Akitas are huge, and the Japanese are a little bit smaller built. So this guy, he's 140 pounds. He's a little fat. He eats a lot of cookies. He eats a lot during the day. He would eat to implosion if we let him. Trying to get him to lose weight, but it's damn near next to impossible, so. He didn't gain any weight this year, so that was a plus, but he definitely didn't lose any weight, and he's very lazy. He sleeps most of the day. So we may have to just accept the fact that he's a chunky beast and keep an eye on him to make sure the weight doesn't mess with his hips. So I take him for a walk every evening after my workout around the neighborhood. I really like walking him this time of year because everybody's house is decorated with Christmas lights. So I get to look at all the houses lit up at night. And it's kind of our bonding thing. We spent the last 5 years, when I was working from home, we would walk in the mornings after I started work. So we've kind of, now he doesn't get to walk in the morning because I'm back in office. So now we continue our walks and we do them in the evenings. But he's smart. There's two different routes that you can take. So if you leave my driveway and go to the right, that tells me he wants to take the shortcut. So we do just one little loop around the street. And it's just long enough for him to pee on stuff, take a poop, and then come back home. When he's feeling frisky, and when it's cooler out, if you take a left, that tells me he wants to go around the entire neighborhood. So that's about twice as long. And I let him decide. We get to the end of the driveway, and I tell him to pick a direction, and we just go in that direction. So some nights we do the full walk, and other nights we do the shortcut, and it's entirely up to how he's feeling. At his age and weight, I'm not going to force him to do, a long walk if he doesn't feel like it. It's up to him, because he does get very out of breath. He'll come home panting if we do the long walk, even though we walk kind of slow because he sniffs everything. So I don't want to put too much strain on his body, but I let him choose. And I think sometimes when he chooses a long walk, he regrets it halfway through, because then there's you have to complete the long walk. It's a big circle. So he doesn't have a choice at that point. So I think he regrets his decision, and then he has to just suck it up and finish the walk. All right, last set of concentration goes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, those were struggles. That's a good way to sit at. Hi, bud. Yeah, we have a fenced-in yard. But the problem is my Akita, because we walked for so many years in the mornings, he won't poop in the backyard. He won't go poop. He forces me to take him for a walk to go poop. So that's where we're at. And it's my fault for walking him for so many years and allowing. He's a very clean dog. So he poops in a very far corner of the backyard when he does go. So as not to like make this old guy, that's kind of hard to see him. Yeah, it's not very lit up. He's standing in the dark. The old guy just shits wherever he wants. Oh, my dogs would take off running if I didn't have a fence. The Akita has no recall. Akitas are very hard to train. He would go off running. So when we moved in here, there was no fence, and that was the first thing we did because we had 3 dogs. And the first thing we did was install a fence when we moved into the house. So something just spooked him. All right, we got 2 sets of 21s next. So I haven't done 21s in a bit. We're gonna do them with 25 pounds. We're already fatigued with the biceps. So we'll see how this goes. One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, that was tough. That was tough. Hi, bud. Hi, bud. I love shepherds. My husband said we'll always have a shepherd. My shepherd actually just had surgery because he got diagnosed with cancer. He had a small mass on his chest that we did a biopsy on, and it came back inconclusive. So they referred us to an oncologist, and they did surgery with the anticipation that it was going to be cancer, because it's an oncology clinic, right? That's what they do. So they took the mass off and didn't get the best margins. So he has to undergo radiation here next. So right now he's inside in his kennel. He's got a big incision across his chest with a lot of stitches. So we're trying to keep him as calm as possible. So he only comes out for a couple hours during the day and at night. He gets his stitches out Monday. And then he gets a CT scan. So we got a lot going on over here. He's only 8. So at least we caught it early. Out of the barn. Let's see, what time is it? It's 7. We got a cruise. Yeah, thankfully we have insurance on him. So his surgery was 100% covered after I hit the deductible, and his CT scan and radiation therapy should also be covered. So at least I got that going for us. We got a little bit of a financial assistance. So it's not too much of a strain. Okay, one more set of 20 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we're done with those. We got a legit bicep pump going, which is what I wanted. Oh yeah, definitely. We welcome dog pics in Discord. Go ahead and drop it in there, and then I'll drop a couple of mine. I have some recent photos. All right, we're doing rope push downs. So let me move this. And we did it at 135. A little bit of triceps today. We got rope push downs, skull crushers, rope pull down. Soft. Increase the tension. Let me check out your photo that you dropped. Aw, he's super cute. He definitely looks like a shepherd, just with floppy ears. My female had floppy ears. Well, she had one floppy ear, and then when she hit 9 years old, it was not floppy anymore. How many of these are we doing? He's super cute. 15. Ooh, 135 left a lot. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's been a while since we've done this one. Yeah, I can see that. I can see the collie in the lab. She's super cute. She's black like my shepherd. My shepherd is an all black shepherd, which is not common down here in Florida. In fact, I've had some people say he looks like a wolf, which is kind of funny. But he's just a stocky all black German shepherd. Yeah, I'll drop a photo of him. I have a recent one that I took when we were at the vet. And then the Aikido gets confused with a husky because he's got the pointy ears and a curly tail. And a lot of people mistake him for a husky. But that's common with Akitas. A lot of people think they're huskies. But he doesn't have the blue eyes like a husky does. So Akitas are not common down here either. It's too hot for Akitas. I know my dog would love snow. Maybe maybe one day I can take him on a road trip up north. He's not a big fan of the car though. I don't know how he'd do on a long trip, but I would love for him to experience snow at some point, since he loves the cooler weather down here in Florida so much. Thanks for following, Mr. Rowboat Son. Welcome in. We're just finishing our arm workout. Doing some tricep push downs, talking about dogs. All right, let's get this next set in. We gotta wrap this up. Got lots to do tonight. That. Still got 2 sets of skull crushers and plate front races. It's been a while since we've done those. Getting a decent arm workout in though. We got a decent pump. We'll take a selfie for the gram. You can't really, you can see it a little bit. Try to grow these biceps. There's not much there. But that's why we're hitting them twice a week now. And I'm a little bit ahead of the game because I lifted on both my cardio days. So we're about to run out of weights and may have to just do cardio and core this weekend. I might do 3 core workouts. I think tomorrow, let me see, do we have a weight training tomorrow? Yeah, we got legs, posterior chain, legs and calves for Friday. Then we'll do cardio, hopefully this weekend. I got homework I gotta do. I've been slacking on my homework. All right, let's finish this one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We skipped RDLs earlier in the week because our back was not doing well. But I think we might be in a better spot to do RDLs tomorrow. We might actually have to go down in weight though. All right, let's reposition the camera. Almost done, bud. Dog is looking to go for a walk. Let's get the bench set up. We're gonna probably do my normal. Actually, I should do my normal skull crushers. It says 12 reps. we do a varied skull crusher where we lay down and do them this way, and then we come cross body and do this way to hit different parts of the tricep. So we're gonna go ahead and do 12 reps. Do one more set of that. We can probably up the weight next time too. Well, we're losing followers. We're losing viewers. Get the 10-pounder out for the plate raises. Put it right here. Almost done wrapping up this workout. We're cruising. We're cruising. All right, done the skull crushers. We got plate raises left. Then we're done. We can finish up with our evening. camera's phone. Okay. Plate loaded raises. And we'll call it a day. And our light died. Well, on that note, we're gonna finish the stream. The light died, mic is dying, everything's dying. So we're gonna go ahead and call it a night. I'm gonna finish this last set and we'll be back tomorrow for legs. Thanks for streaming, thanks for the follows, thanks for chatting. You guys have a good night.